from the Finance Minister, He said, electricity is vital to the economy. I'm going to paraphrase his remarks, that government failed to fix Eskom over the last 13 years, and that for him, where the electricity or who the electricity comes from is immaterial. Essentially, he seems to be saying that he supports independent power producers and that he's not supporting the idea that Eskom stays the monopoly supplier of power in our country. Daniel Goldstruck is a spokesperson of the SA Photovoltaic Industry Association, the people who are very much in favour of solar panels. Daniel, good evening, good afternoon to you, and thank you for your time. How do you see what the Minister said last night?
Hi, good afternoon, Stephen, and good afternoon to your viewers. Thank you very much for having us on. Yes, these indeed are very positive sentiments from the Minister. It is good to hear yet another person in leadership announce interest in broader energy adoption, renewables. I guess he did not specifically mention renewables, but he said he wants any energy wherever it comes from. So this is a very positive signal for us.
Eskom says it's changing. It wants to use renewables. It wants to move away from coal. Do you believe it's actually moving in that direction?
Yes, we do believe so. We're seeing a lot of positive moves, both in Eskom and other distributors. So a municipality as a licensed distributor. We're seeing some of the larger municipalities open up their networks and establish processes for more participation, as well as what's called the wheeling of energy, where a generator can put energy on one part of the network and send to a customer on the other side. So we do believe that Eskom has been doing this for a number of years, and we believe that Eskom is putting more energy and more effort behind some of these processes.
So Eskom is doing it. The Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe, not so much?
The minister did announce that the new regulations, this Schedule 2 of the Energy Regulatory Act, that raises the limits, the cap on where you have to apply a license from 1 megawatt to 100 megawatts. And renewable energy is very well positioned to take advantage of this. You can build a project within 12 months. And so he has enabled more participation of independent power producers on the network.
He does seem to still be strongly arguing for coal and nuclear, though. I mean, he says that we will need a gas industry, for example. He says that we'll need a nuclear industry. I mean, that's in direct competition with your products.
It is in competition. I believe that solar and wind can come onto the grid faster than any coal or nuclear assets can. You've seen Medupi and Kusile take a number of years to be constructed. As I said previously, you can build a utility-scale power plant in 12 months after signature. A energy grid will require a mix of generation technologies, but we believe that renewables plus storage can fill all the needs of gas and coal over time. The South African network already has significant pump storage, so 3 gigawatts of pump storage, and that enables a large amount of renewable energy to come onto the grid. And fundamentally, when you're having load shedding in the middle of the afternoon, you need solar. You can accept solar onto the network.
So, I mean, the argument for your industry, I mean, I understand the argument to a large extent. I buy the argument. We see power production and the way we produce power from coal is hurting the atmosphere. We see what's happening with the climate. The United Nations has strong views on that. Europe and China are both trying to move away from coal. And suddenly, in the last month, they're having major problems in doing this. I mean, China is putting factories on half production because there isn't enough electricity there. Europe is having very high gas prices. Partly, and I sort of scratched my head at this, partly because there wasn't enough wind during their summer, our winter. This shows you how careful South Africa actually has to move.
Indeed, but I think South Africa also has an interesting opportunity ahead of itself. We have 10 gigawatts of coal-fired power plants coming offline over the next 10 years. I think it is across 6 power plants. So there is a large opportunity to advance the adoption of solar, wind, and storage. You've seen Eskom is procuring battery energy storage, and so the question is how fast can Eskom procure the source of energy or all energy that it needs, and again, ultimately, the fastest and cheapest form of electricity available on the network is always going to be renewable energy.
We've seen the announcement that companies, and you referred to this, will be able to produce their own electricity, sell the excess up to 100 megawatts embedded generation. There's still regulation around that. Is that regulation moving quickly enough? I mean, are people signing what they need to sign and getting out the scissors and cutting the red tape as quickly as they should be?
I do tend to believe that, and a number of my colleagues in South Africa and across the industry. What we're seeing is enough positive announcements, enough positive energy and time spent on the renewable energy space, or sorry, on this energy space in general. And what this is sending, it's sending a message to businesses that South Africa is open for business. If you are thinking of procuring energy, do so, because we are creating an enabling framework. We're all seeing a large amount of tenders being released. Companies are taking up the message and are taking up taking up the message to move forward in their procurements. And in the years up to now, up to 2020 and 2021, you've seen the discussions do take time because a number of energy industry participants are concerned that they'll be lost in a procurement process or a permitting process. But now companies are more willing to start, knowing that they'll get to a point where they'll have electricity on their local network.
Daniel Goldstruck, thank you, spokesperson for the SA Photovoltaic Industry Association. The industry believes that the sun is very much indeed shining. Thank you. Daniel, thank you.